Let's get back to that breaking news right now at 8 o'clock. Police are investigating a mass shooting at a Minneapolis church and school. Here's a live picture from the scene right now. In the last few minutes, the Richfield Police Department there posted on social media saying officers are reporting 20 victims at Annunciation Catholic School. A man dressed in all black and armed with a rifle was reported at the scene. EMS has requested a mass casualty response, and fire crews are bringing in additional resources. Initial information indicated the suspected shooter is no longer a threat. Meantime, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz posted on social media that he has been briefed about the shooting, adding he is praying for our kids and teachers whose first week of school was marred by this horrific act of violence. So let's listen into the coverage from our sister station, KREM in Minneapolis.
This news is spreading through the community. I mean, I'm the parent of a school-age child. My friends are texting each other, just talking about how it is the absolute worst nightmare to send your kid off to school in the morning, thinking that they're going to be safe, think that they're going to be learning and with teachers and friends who care about them, and then something like this happens, as we're reporting. A man dressed in black with a rifle comes walking into a school community.
On the second day of school.
On the second day of school, a church community, and causes 20 injuries. That's what we're hearing from Richfield Police. 20 people injured or killed. We don't know. They say 20 victims in this mass shooting incident at Annunciation Church and School in South Minneapolis. Just a horrific day in Minneapolis, and we are seeing the comments coming in from all the elected officials in the area, but they all say the same thing because there just aren't words. Yeah. There aren't words for this.
There are never words for this. As many times as we've seen this here in America, you're left speechless every single time. We should know more information soon here. There's a press conference, like you mentioned, scheduled for 10:15 at HCMC. We're also getting word here from the city of Minneapolis. There's a news conference planned for 10:30 at the media staging area. So in the next half hour or so, we should be getting a lot more information from officials and figure out exactly what happened here.
In the meantime, people from this community are trying to do whatever they can to help. Our AJ Legault is at HCMC right now, where victims were taken, and he spoke with a pastor, a local pastor, not from Annunciation, but another Catholic priest, who came really just to pray with families and to be there and support them. He said that he grew up in the Annunciation parish, and so this was something that hit him very close. Let's hear some of that sound.
Well, I'm a pastor as well at St. Olaf downtown, and when I got the news of the mass shooting at Annunciation, I thought I'd come down to HCMC to comfort the parents or whoever's here, just to be a presence from the Archdiocese with them.
What was your thought when you heard about what happened?
It was horrific. And I grew up in that parish, so it has meaning to me now, but it shouldn't be happening. And what happened on 8th and Hennepin this morning, Lake Street yesterday, something's got to happen here in the city to stop this.
Saying, I think, what so many people are thinking after such a violent 24 hours in our city.
Yeah, we've been talking about that all morning here on Sunrise. We had our Michelle Beck and Audrey Russo on that team coverage this morning, talking about the multiple shootings that we've had here. We had a mass shooting last night.
Yesterday afternoon, broad daylight.
In the middle of broad daylight, a person going up to a group of people and shooting, 6 people injured, 1 person killed. And then later that night around 10 p.m., another shooting happened, another person being killed. And then a few hours later, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the morning, another person shot and killed. 1 other person rushed to the hospital. So in the past 12 hours or so, it has been violent here in Minneapolis, and this just adds on to that. And echoing what he says, I mean, you wonder when things are going to let up here. It's just horrible.
And we've been talking about the trauma around a school community. It's important to note that mass shooting yesterday afternoon, in which 6 people were shot, 1 killed, happened across the street from a different school, Cristo Rey School, a Jesuit school in Minneapolis, where high school students were attending class yesterday. And we heard the audio, 30 gunshots, just one after another in that area, that certainly children would have been able to hear. Now we have children at another school in South Minneapolis, again, facing gun violence in a place where they should be safe, in a place where they should be learning.
Not just a school, but a church. You know, you feel like you'd be extra safe in either one of those places, but it seems nowadays nowhere seems to be off limits when it comes to these mass shootings. And it's just especially horrible when it happens in the school. Those kids are so innocent. They're just there to learn. They're just there to start their school year. And they didn't expect to, nobody expects to come into this, but especially these kids that are just so innocent and don't know any what's going on. You know, it just makes your stomach sick. It really does.
It does, because you know the trauma that they will experience, and we don't know the condition of the people who are victims in this tragedy, but we will be getting an update on that in about 10 minutes from now, so stay with us. We will bring that to you live as soon as we can.
Yeah, HCMC at 10:15 and then Minneapolis Police at 10:30. So gonna have back-to-back updates here, hopefully.
And just to bring everyone up to speed with what we do know at this point, there was an active shooter this morning at Annunciation Church and School. Those calls coming in just after 8 a.m. At the time, we didn't have a lot of information. We have now learned that there is no active threat to the community. MPD saying that the threat has been neutralized. Lou Ragoose has sources telling him that the shooter is dead. Richfield police sharing in a Facebook post that there are 20 victims. That's the information they have from law enforcement. Also, information that this was a shooter who was dressed all in black and walked in with a rifle, with a gun, and opened fire.
Yeah, 20 victims here. Obviously, it triggered a mass casualty response. We know Richfield getting involved here, assisting MPD with just this horrific tragedy. And right now, they're urging parents trying to be reunified with their kids to go to the reunification center that's at 54th, and I'm trying to get the exact address here. I want to make sure I give parents the right information.
525 West 54th Street. That's the reunification zone at Annunciation School. We heard our Jessica Hart on the scene, who was talking about kids being led away and with their parents with MPD.
You are listening to live coverage from our sister station in Minneapolis right now, where there are reports of at least 20 victims at a shooting at a Catholic church and school. Right now, it is still a very fluid and developing situation. Multiple sources telling our sister station in Minneapolis that the shooter is dead. And right now, new reporting coming in that bomb squads are working to disarm multiple improvised explosive devices on scene. Right now, there are reunification sites for families of those other students who were not injured. Right now, you could see still a very developing situation. We're also just hearing from the President of the United States, President Donald Trump, writing on Truth Social and X. I have been fully briefed on the tragic shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The FBI quickly responded and they are on scene. The White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation. Please join me in prayer for everyone involved. We are continuing this live breaking news coverage on KREM 2 Plus. You can download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch this continuing coverage for free on your streaming devices. We want to turn now to some of our other coverage and our other news of the day. We will get to a press conference in Minneapolis a little bit later in about 7 minutes.